good visibility, mostly clear skies, 77 degrees. Thanks for coming out flying with Southwest Airlines. Welcome aboard. And remember, let's go Brandon.
All right, guys. So that is a Southwest Airlines pilot saying, let's go Brandon, signing off after a flight. Now, I'm going to tell you guys. This right here has triggered the left, okay? These people are seething at the mouths. Their heads are exploding. They're losing their minds over this, right? They're losing their minds as they are calling for this man to be fired. They are calling to boycott Southwest Airlines simply because the man said, let's go Brandon, over the intercom, right? They're calling for this man to be fired. Calling for him to lose his job because apparently you're not supposed to make political statements on the job, right? I wonder where all these people were, right? When athletes were protesting the national anthem, okay? They said, oh no, it's free speech, right? Free speech, okay? Free speech. Now all of a sudden this pilot, he says, let's go Brandon, right? Not nearly as disrespectful as kneeling for the national anthem. And he's not even saying the vulgar version of what it means. It's the G-rated version. But he should be fired and lose his job, right? It's funny how the whole free speech thing goes out the window when the political speech is speech they don't like, right? They want the man to be fired, right? They want him to be fired. So let's actually read here some of the comments from some blue checks on Twitter and liberals who are upset about this, right? They feel like this is the worst thing in the world. And they're probably really especially mad about it considering how Southwest, again, allegedly, some of the employees and pilots have been protesting the vaccine mandate, which essentially has forced Southwest Airlines to cancel flights. Now, Southwest Airlines is saying that this is a weather anomaly. However, it happened with them, and now it seems like it's kind of happening with American Airlines too, as they've started canceling thousands of flights. So lefties are probably upset about their travel, right, being postponed or canceled because of these pilots and their mandate protests. And then having a pilot say, let's go Brandon, over the intercom probably was the last straw for some of these people, okay? So let's read here. Regina Marston says, let me be clear, Southwest Air, we need a firing right now of the pilot who thought he was going to disrespect the POTUS while being paid by you. Figure it out. Boycott Southwest Airlines. So again, I wonder how this person would feel about athletes protesting the national anthem, disrespecting the country on the job, right? While being paid by the NFL. I wonder would she feel the same way? I don't think she would, right? I don't think she would. Jane H, do your duty. Get a vaccine. When I pay a company money, I deserve to be free from religion, politics, and other personal issues. They need to respect all those who pay them, and that means not spewing their own beliefs of any kind. Fly the damn plane safely. Be kind and act grateful for all who pay them. Yeah. I wonder how these people feel about the so-called social justice protests in sports. Right? Where, again, these athletes are out here making political statements. There's end racism on the NFL fields every single Sunday, right? You have nothing to say about that. Again, it's cool, right? It's cool to have religion, politics, and other personal issues involved on the job if they agree with it, right? If they agree with it. But hasn't the right been saying the whole time, hey, you know what? We shouldn't have all this political stuff on the job. We shouldn't be doing this. But the left all last year said, no, that's okay, right? We should have politics on the job. Guys, we live in a country where woke corporations are essentially putting politics on the job by trying to implement critical race theory, right? In the workplace. Lindy Lee, she says, this is totally unacceptable. Pilots shouldn't use the cockpit as a bully pulpit. We don't want to hear about politics, left or right, from those charged with shepherding us through the skies. This pilot is brainwashed and in serious need of deprogramming. Deprogramming. Woo! Boy. These people are outraged. Chris Alberto Law says, the pilot forced a repugnant and divisive political message on a captive audience in flight. It could have triggered anger and chaos. It's inconsistent with the FAA's and the Department of Homeland Security's efforts to keep air travel safe for all Americans. The pilot needs to be #fired. But again, I wonder where all these people were, right? And shout out to the people who send me this stuff. You make my job so easy. When people on the left were trolling Trump, right? Talking about Trump, when his brother died, right? Saying that the wrong Trump died. The wrong Trump died, right? And we ain't even got to mention all the other stuff the left has said about Trump and the images they put up about Trump. But when the man's brother died, they could not stop for a second to let this man grieve. But instead, they started trending wrong Trump because some of these people actually have wished death on the president, on the platform, right? And Twitter trended this, right? They trended this. But again, these are the same people talking about civility in politics. Civility in politics, right? And I've not seen anybody on the right wishing death on anybody on the left, including the president, right? And if something was to happen to Joe Biden, and I hope nothing happens to him, okay? If something was to happen to him, I don't think that the right will be celebrating. I think that the right would say, hey, you know what? This is a time to put us out of politics. A president, passed away or something like whatever, right? Again, Lord forbid that happens. But if something was to happen to Trump, I guarantee you there will be a large celebration on Twitter from leftists celebrating that, right? They would not be putting politics aside. They wouldn't do it. But again, these are the people that want to talk about civility in politics. We need to be civil now because Biden's presidency is so bad. And it is piling on. Like everything is piling on. It's almost every single day. It gets worse and worse and worse for this man. And now the few Joe Biden supporters left in this country, if there was actually really any in the first place, right? Now they want to cry foul, right? Because a pilot said, "Let's go, Brandon," over the intercom, right? This is where we're at. But this is not the only thing that the left has been triggered about, as they've been crying about the Braves and their Tomahawk chop. Now, again, the left has brought out the cancel mob and basically wants to cancel this gesture, this tradition that Braves fans do at games because they think that it's offensive to Native Americans. Again, they really only care about Native Americans when they can use them to woke virtue signal. But none of them actually really care about the true plight that Native Americans are going through. They don't really care about that in the real issues. They only really care when it comes to woke virtue signaling. Now, Trump actually attended the Braves game, right? One of the World Series games. And he clearly showed that he did not give a damn about the woke leftists and their cancel culture. Take a look. Somewhere, Joy Reid is watching that pounding sand, right? Because she said that this was Trumpian white privilege to do the chop. So yeah, Trump obviously doesn't care about what the woke mob has to say in regards to trying to cancel that tradition that they do there. Just by the fact that he showed up and he started doing it, right? And again, this is kind of how you got to treat the left, right? In their cancel culture, we don't care, right? We do not care. We don't. But guys, I will say this. These leftists getting so outraged by the whole "Let's Go Brandon" thing, right? And them really showing themselves for who they are. The tide is really turning in this country, man. I mean, look at what's happening in Virginia, right? The recent polls have shown Glenn Youngkin is just like pulling ahead of Terry McAuliffe, right? The Democrats are so desperate that they walked out fake white nationalists, white supremacists, okay? They're desperate. They're falling apart. Biden's presidency is probably one of the worst disasters in American history. That's not even an exaggeration at this point. It's not, right? I mean, he's losing on all fronts, right? And again, this at the same time comes as the right has become more empowered, more boldened by the fact that, hey, this president's failing and a lot of people are seeing our side, right? We're winning. The tide is turning. We simply are winning, right? And I think that's where a lot of this outrage comes over this Southwest pilot and doing the whole Let's Go Brandon thing. They don't want to hear that, right? Because, again, their savior, Joe Biden, right, the guy that all these people cheered and cried about, right, when he got elected, this man has driven this country almost off a cliff, right? So the last thing they want to hear is the right basically spiking the football in the end zone, right, doing a little dance on them, while their guy, again, is barely functional, right? They don't want to hear that. So, again, and for Trump to come out here and to do the chop after all this, it just shows that we on the come up, right? We on the come back. Momentum is strong, right? Momentum is strong. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.